welcome back to Chasing the Target. It's me and Fez, and we are hosting the preview for the final of the T20 World Cup at the MCG, Pakistan versus England. We're a bit late in terms of our regular time, quite a bit late, but we wanted to be closer to the start time of the match because there is a lot of rain around in Melbourne. We want to see what the latest is. Rain is predicted for the night, but right now it is sunny there in Melbourne. And Fez, how are you doing, man?
Good man. I mean, क्या ही कर सकते हैं अभी बार coming back to the thought of India. I'm not going to do that anymore. But yeah, excited for the final. Two good teams in the final who, well, say it or not, as much as I won't hate it to say it, I'd say well deserved, and both are in the final. Going to be a good battle. Balance is there in both the squads now. They both found the rhythm in terms of the quality of cricket that they can produce. So I think it's going to be a very good match. Hopefully the rain stays away and we're able to, have a very very good final, and may the best team win.
Yeah, I mean, two convincing wins for both teams in the semi-finals. England dominating India and Pakistan dominating New Zealand, and both were really good in the field. They took the chances, bowled well as well, and with the bat were very convincing. So let's see what happens when they do play each other. I think if it's a shortened game, then it becomes more of a lottery. But if it's a 20-over game, that's what both teams will want, because I think both teams will be a bit concerned that if it's like 5 6, I mean, there has to be 10 overs, but even if it's a 10-over game, 60 balls, and then it rains in between that as well, it's a problem, because there is a reserve day, but the reserve day doesn't mean that the game starts afresh. It will start from the point it finished, and it'll continue from there. So it won't be like a fresh game again. So you don't get a second chance like that. And sometimes in a disturbed game like that, it can cause problems for either team, and there might be a lot of luck involved if it's rain curtailed.
Definitely. I mean, I think after all of the sort of luck that fell into Pakistan's lap and whatever circumstances England had to overcome in terms of Australia's not playing Australia and then beating a difficult New Zealand side and playing an amazing, semi-final. And after that, even from a fan's perspective, but firstly, let's take the team's perspective that they have to, fall into, shorter overs or something like that. Or if even in the reserve day, there's no guarantee of a whole day's play. So I think the better news would be for either of the teams and the fan would be that the game carries on tomorrow, irrespective of hopefully no blocking from the rain.
Yeah.
And yeah, from a fan's perspective, obviously we would like to watch all 40 overs played between two innings. So I think that's how we would ideally want it, and hopefully we get that.
Yep. Let's start off the show with fresh off the press. There's quite a bit of news regarding the final, so let's start off with that. So of course, बारिश का तो चर्चा हो रहा. There is rain around in Melbourne right now. Someone tweeted a message, a photo of Melbourne. It is bright and sunny, so we don't know what's going to happen. There was rain predicted in the India-Pakistan game also, and it cleared up. So let's see what happens. Again, there is a reserve date there, but there's rain on Monday as well. That's not in anyone's hands, so we can't really do anything about that. We just see how it goes. But the news from the press conferences from Pakistan side, of course, Babar Azam did talk about the Qudrat Ka Nizam, and he said that we believe in God, and Allah helps us and everything. And he did talk about England as an opposition and how his team has been playing, but their team news is pretty much set. No issues at all. Everyone is fit, everyone is raring to go, and he can play the same 11. With Josh Butler, it was a much more interesting press conference in the sense that you were a lot of people were worried about the fitness of both David Milan and Mark Wood, right? Now the news is that Mark Wood did bowl today. He bowled a few deliveries at top speed as well. Milan was moving a bit gingerly before the India game, but he looks better now. Will they take a call? I'm not sure. Mark Wood did mention, I think he was interviewed yesterday, and he did mention if it's going to risk the team, he's not going to play, but he is feeling better. So that's the news from
Yeah, and I think on the Mark Wood front, I would just say, I mean, it makes sense कि भाई अगर आपका fitness में आपको थोड़ी बहुत feel आ रही है, if you feel that you're a bit not 100%, it's the right call, because I mean, if you go towards playing the final with a injured or a semi Mark Wood and end up pulling a hamstring or something like that during your game, and then it's just be a Jordan coming onto field, so that will be a very big loss for you, and you'll probably potentially be 10 men, right? So I think the smarter thing or the wiser thing would be to continue with Chris Jordan, and I think they haven't missed Malan too much, but like David Malan hasn't been that consistent even with the bat. So I think that won't be a very big blow. With all respect to his ability with the T20 format, but right now I think the semi-final team that played for England, I think they're very well, in order to win a World Cup final. I think they're prepared mentally.
Yeah, 100%. And from Pakistan camp, like I said, everything looks well and good. They have a well-oiled unit. Everyone is fit, and I think for them it's much more clear. They don't have to worry about that. But sometimes, jab opposition mein you know who's playing, it's a bit easier to plan at times. That doesn't mean it's a big advantage because the opposition itself will be prepared and they're happy they're playing their full unit. But sometimes it's easier to prepare like that. Now, Pakistan's one thing is that, for example, uh, they might have been preparing for Mark Wood. They haven't played as much of Chris Jordan. So if Jordan comes in, it might be it might be a challenge for Pakistan. So that's something. If you look at it from England's point of view, that's something that they can look at positively. But in general, you do want your best 11 in the final. And that's what Pakistan got, and England will be fretting on the fitness, especially of Mark Wood, because when extra pace leke aata, he does
Yeah,
just make it difficult for batsmen. We saw in Pakistan conditions, he played a couple of T20s in between, and he won England those matches just with his raw pace. And in Australia and Melbourne, on that type of pitch, I think he will really extract a lot of pace and bounce. तो वो एक चीज है from England's point of view. But I think that pretty much wraps up the news from there. Of course, 92 का final repeat है. Not only did Pakistan beat England, they also did beat New Zealand in the 92 final. Everything points
yeah,
towards Babar Azam lifting that trophy. But this is a very attacking England team, very
yeah,
aggressive England team. And I think with this, let's move on to the eye test and just discuss a few matchups. You ready?
yeah, yeah. Let's go for it.
We've been doing this all tournament, we're looking at matchups, we're talking about who can perform, who cannot perform. Sometimes we got it right, sometimes we got it wrong. But let's talk about the openers from Pakistan, Rizwan and Babar Azam versus Karan and Wokes, because that will be a task. The ball will swing. If Mark Wood is playing, then he'll also be a bit of a challenge. I mean, a big challenge for Pakistan. So Rizwan and Babar Azam, again, they did play well against New Zealand. They were a bit more aggressive. Their strike rate in the end was 130, 120. Do you still expect them to play their natural game? And then, and also now that the middle order is firing, they don't really need to worry about strike rate because that gets caught up in towards the end of the innings.
Yeah, I mean, with Babar and Rizwan, but I think this time they would sort of, being a final, I think they need to be a little bit pacier. And given the, the bowling that you mentioned of Chris Wokes and Sam Curran, it's not going to be easy to play them in the power play as it was with India because of, unfortunately, India didn't turn up with the, sort of bowling quality that they have. If, you had Arshdeep and the, not Arshdeep, but maybe, the likes of Bhuvaneshwar and Arshdeep, obviously, if they would be able to sort of protect runs in the middle, then it would be a better game to watch. Anyway, coming out of the India thing again, I would say for Babar and Rizwan, this would be another test for them. This would probably be their biggest test because, see, for now, if you look at it under a microscope, Babar has only performed in one match, and this was the semi-final. That's it. For Rizwan, I could say from in the Netherlands match and in the Bangladesh match, he did perform back to back.
Yeah.
He was, getting his runs. He was getting his rhythm back. So for Rizwan, I think there will be no complaint from the thing. But as the captain, it's I think it's his responsibility now to sort of step into that stick his feet out in the mud and sort of get ready. But yeah, coming to the bowling attack of England, Sam Curran, Chris Wokes, incredible variation that Sam Curran is bringing into the game. The slower one, he can swing it. He can even sort of hold it back and sort of get you caught in the deep. So I think in that aspect, Babar hasn't played that much cricket right now in the World Cup, in this World Cup. So it's going to be a tough one for him.
Yeah. And Samkara is nailing that Yorker. I won't be surprised even with the new ball if he tests them out like that. And then so if you flip it, the other battle, which is very important, is Hales and Butler versus the likes of Shaheen, Naseem, and then of course Haris Rauf and Wasim Jr. But yeah, the opening bowling, especially I think that first 2 overs of Shaheen, I've been
Yeah.
talking about it in the last few games for Pakistan. He's lethal with the new ball, and he's coming back to full fitness now. Will Joss Butler play his natural game? Will he play his shots, or will he be a bit conservative and attack? We've seen both Hales and Butler have been outstanding form, and that's the risk for England, right? अगर जल्दी out हो गए तो फिर Pakistan can go into that middle order of England, who have looked kind of rusty and weak in this tournament. They haven't looked as strong as possible. Of course, they have the players on paper. They have the likes of Stokes, Moeen Ali is there, Harry Brook is there, quite a few batsmen, Livingston.
Yeah.
But that battle will be key, I think, especially that first couple of overs of Shaheen.
Yeah, Shine's overs, man. You can never like even despite his injury. I think we've been talking about it so much. We actually forgot the fact that he was even injured. You know that ACL didn't even seem like an ACL because when he that kind of a stature of a man like of 6'4", 6'5" guy running at you, you'll just forget everything.
Yeah,
Uh, See with George Butler, I think if he's going to play it very situationally, if he's getting movement, if because there are conditions of rain and stuff, there might be windy circumstances. I think he will have to sort of calm himself and play his game. Because any movement here and there that Shine gets, he's going to be lethal. And we've seen it that the majority of wickets that Shine picks up is either in the first wicket in the first three balls. So
yeah,
I think that is something very important that England have to play him out. At the same time, if you look at the other spacemen, in the likes of Naseem and Wasim Jr., they've also been having an amazing tournament. So for me, it would be actually looking at the situation, how the movement is, and how the line length of the bowler is, and sort of extract his innings accordingly. Maybe Hayes could be the one who's aggressive, but Josh Butler really needs to keep his wicket.
yeah. I think the way England play their cricket, it's high risk, so they will still play attacking, but that's going to be the most productive for them, because if they are a bit careful and do leave a few deliveries, play dot balls, then that will build the pressure. At least I think one of them have to go. If Butler wants to stay for a bit to watch the new ball, maybe Hales will go and attack. So I think that will be something, because then if the Pakistani bowlers have you under, they'll keep coming at you. They'll have like a Haris Rauf
Yeah.
after that. They'll have Naseem. They'll have Wasim Jr. The bowling keeps coming. So I think one of them will go after Shaheen. I don't know if that's going to be the right thing. Only time will tell. But I just have a feeling they're going to attack.
Yeah, I think two things could happen here. If one goes aggressive, one gets, sort of balances himself, like in the terms of Charles Butler.
Yeah.
If they're able to build a good innings, a good partnership at 10 overs, then the middle can be relaxed. But if that first wicket goes out in the first 2 overs, then the pressure build up. But one thing you just said a few minutes ago, that the middle order hasn't been firing for
Hmm.
England, so that could add more pressure to them. So I would say, rather than that, relax and play. George Butler take his time if the situation calls for it. Play your aggressive game if you can. You feel like there's no movement and stuff. But अगर वहाँ पे quick wickets चले गए, तो इंग्लैंड प्रेशर में आ जाती है. इंग्लैंड प्रेशर में आ गए और मिडिल ऑर्डर में हैरी ब्रोक ये लोग परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाए, तो खत्म. You could see a 70-60 total like that. I'm
Yeah.
being very much too much into like probably an 80-90 or something like that.
Yeah.
But
100%.
I
Another
thought about,
battle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm saying another battle that I'm really looking forward to is Shadab versus Stokes, man. That's going to be a crazy battle, especially Shadab with the ball, Stokes with the bat. But you can also reverse it, because Shadab has been in fine form with the bat and Stokes has bowled well. But if you just look at it from that point of view, from the Stokes batting perspective and Shadab bowling, again, it's going to be the left-hander on strike. Shadab has been outstanding against opponents in the middle overs, but Ben Stokes is a player that he has the talent, he has the experience, he'll know exactly what to do, rotate the strike, and also the ball will be coming in, right? The leg spinner's delivery, so that it can break Shadab's momentum, and also Nawaz might be held back, and they might get Iftikhar in against Stokes. That might play on Babar's mind. So Stokes over there in
Yeah.
the middle. Of course, they don't have Malan, but Stokes and Moeen Ali, I think, can cause some disturbance against the spinners, and they will have to do that, because otherwise, Shadab's had an outstanding tournament, and Shadab will be clever as well. I think he might bowl a few googlies, try to make Ben Stokes hit against the spin, and then bowl a leg spinner. He might do something like that. But yeah, your thoughts on Shadab versus Stokes?
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting battle, but when it comes to Shadab and Stokes, Stokes has not been getting enough runs. I mean, he's not been able to sort of prove his point, and Shadab has already bowled at the MCG. He knows the conditions. He played against India,
Yeah.
and in that he was able to, restrict a 20. I think it was 4 overs and 21 runs.
Yeah.
And I think he was fantastic. I mean, he's been bowling in the right areas. He's just not getting the wickets, but he's doing his duty. So I think that is something that I'm keenly interested in, and I'm favoring Shadab here because Shadab has had a fantastic World Cup in comparison to a Ben Stokes. But Ben Stokes is a match winner. Ben Stokes, is a clutch player. He knows when to pull up his stocks
Yeah.
and go guns blazing. So it's going to be a very interesting battle.
Yeah, man. Clutch player 2019 finals. He was the main man.
वो तो
I
भाई एक रन नहीं लिया वो मेरे लिए न्यूजीलैंड जीत गई वो रन आई डोंट बिलीव इन दैट
but
थिंग
Stokes was there. अगर उन्हें out हो गया तो it
या
would have been different. And
100% वो
also
गेम वो तो क्रिकेट की खूबसूरती थी कुदरत का
that match.
निजाम नहीं था वो
Yeah, and that match against Australia also was outstanding, man. उन्हें जो test match में खेला था, तो
या
I agree with you over there. I think Stokes has not had the best of tournaments. That innings against Sri Lanka, I think, will give him a lot of confidence because again, he didn't look fluent. He didn't look like the Ben Stokes that we know. And T20 cricket hasn't been his best kind of format because even if you remember, he has that scars of 2016. But I think that will make him stronger. That experience, I think, might just allow him to cross that line this time and perform in a final and win England, or at least take England close to a victory, because he has learned from that mistake, I'm sure. A lot of people also from Pakistan's flip side, they were close in the semi-finals last time they were there, but so it could go work either way. But I just think the caliber of Stokes, like you said, clutch player. So let's see what happens. And then for me, another key battle, if you flip the spinners, we talked about Shadab versus Stokes. Now Adil Rashid versus Chachu and Haris, Iftikhar and Haris. I think that will be a very good battle because these guys are looking to attack. They're not going to play single,
या
double, they're going to smash it. And
या
Adil Rashid with the square boundaries will be in play, and he's bowled outstandingly well. And he's been a bit different to Shadab. Shadab has been picking wickets and been economical, whereas Adil Rashid has been purely economical. He's picked up the key wicket here and there. He
या
picked up the
या
Surya Kumar Yadav in the semi-final, and he's just been outstanding. Don in the house, man. England to win. Livingston man of the match.
ओहो
Yeah,
वो
Don.
वो वो
Don big calls, man. Me and Don both got the New Zealand Pakistan game wrong, but let's see what happens here in this one. But yeah, Faz,
I'm I'm just going to quote Vinay here saying that now Pakistan is going to win because Don has predicted England to win. So, but yeah, I mean, completely Adil Rashid has been phenomenal pitching line and length. Even Kohli को सताया उन्हें in the last semi-final.
yeah,
जो अभी semi-final जो अपन हारे अभी जो अपन निकल गए उस टूर्नामेंट से
समझ गया मैं.
So yeah, Adil Rashid will be an interesting battle for me more than Chachu. I'm more interested in seeing Haris because he's been playing a brilliant and aggressive cricket. I just say he's been a positive vibe in the team. He has been the
Yeah,
one who has sort
he's
of given
been
them
vibes,
mindset.
man. That's what he's been.
वाइब्स के his vibes and उसके अलावा उन्हें मिडिल ऑर्डर को सुधार दिया उन्हें बोला भाई ये लोग नहीं खेल रहे तो अपन तो खेलेंगे ये बात उन्हें आगे कर दिया he showed the whole entire team in the last two matches 30 of 31 consistently 100 and above की strike rate maintain करते हुए गया so I think वो अच्छी चीज है and he's brought a temperament of aggression into the team which is much more important which has also lit it up on the openers and openers भी fire करना शुरू कर दिए तो मोहम्मद हारिस has sort of been that link between the middle and the top order, and I think that is what I'm seeing. Chachu has fired in one or two matches max. He's not looked at aggressive in the
So
other matches.
he fired in the South Africa game that partition with
Yeah,
Shadab, and then against India, तीन छक्के मारा उन्हें अक्सर को. That's why I'm putting him in the mix. He plays spin really well.
100%. You can't. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. You can't take Chachu out of the equation. And MCG में ही मारा जैसा आप बोले MCG start में I guess. So Chachu has his moments, but right now Haris has had back-to-back moments consistently, and अभी उन्हें टीम में आया तो I feel कि उन्हें थोड़ा और in terms of these two if I'm picking and Adil Rashid, but you can't you can't neglect Adil Rashid. Obviously उन्हें line length maintain कर दे रहे हो और wicket to wicket single double बोल रहे खाली so yeah it's going to be a very interesting battle like you said this competition the more like we're reading into it the more we seeing the players and the quality it's going to be a fantastic you don't know कि भाई कौन सी टीम जीतने वाले आई थिंक एक फिंगर नहीं डाल सकते बिकॉज यहाँ पे भी प्लेयर्स है तो इक्वली यहाँ पे भी मारने वाले भी हैं इट्स वाइस वर्सा
Yeah.
बेहतरीन मैच
और
होने
जब
वाला
finals में पहुंचते then it's a level standing. It becomes 50-50
है
game. It becomes of course sometimes you do have
बिल्कुल
one-sided finals, but the prediction में थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. Like last time
या
we did say New Zealand have a very good chance against Australia. मगर फिर one-sided हो गया था final. Although Williamson played a cracker, Don is saying Chachu will have fighting spirit, but England proved too strong. चाचू को रैश भाई निकाल देंगे. That's Don's prediction there. Mr. Don, the boss. The other battle, the last battle I'm going to talk about is we talked about Mohammad Haris. Now I'm going to talk about Haris Rauf. Haris Rauf versus Liam Livingston, because I just feel that Haris Rauf with the maybe with the older ball he might get it to reverse a bit. Even though it's difficult in a 20 over game, but he might get it to reverse a bit. Try to get some seam off the pitch. And Livingston, this guy just likes to hit it out of the ground. Again, we haven't seen him being consistent. He's hit some big sixes even in this World Cup, but we haven't seen the beast Livingston that we have. We know the stature that he has. We've seen him in domestic cricket, especially even in the BPL. He's been outstanding, and then in the England domestic season as well in the NatWest T20 Plus. So, your thoughts on this battle? I don't know if it's going to play out like how I'm
Yeah,
imagining it. We don't even know if he's going to bowl to Livingston, but if
yeah.
they do come up against each other, do you see Livingston going on the attack?
Yeah, I think Livingston के sixth number, fifth number पे आएगा. So I mean, more or less he'll be facing the spinners maybe, or maybe Haris Rauf will get a over in the middle if Babar uses some kind of tactic. I don't know what he's going to do. Basically, जो
Yeah.
India के against करने की कोशिश करे थे. But if I'm looking at on paper with the Haris versus Livingston, I think aggressive तो रहेगा because he likes to play the pace. इन्होंने बड़े बड़े छक्के मारने के काबिलियत है. But given the experience that Haris has, I think वो थोड़ा play out कर पाएगा. He didn't have the last couple of few games अच्छा नहीं था, but the semi-final he still managed to make an economy of 8. I think 4 overs 32 runs कुछ दिया था
True.
उसने. So I think वो situation he'll be taking a lot of confidence playing the final and stepping up for his country. I think Haris Rauf might have the edge over Livingston.
Yeah, 100%. That wraps up the battles. Let's go into fantasy picks for tomorrow. So our tips and chip section is coming right up. I was gonna do one each. Do you want to do one
Yeah.
each? You pick one England and Pakistan player. I pick one England Pakistan player. Or do you want to pick two Pakistan? I pick two England.
However you feel, whatever you want. Anything goes,
Chalo,
brother.
chalo, let's make it a bit. Let's make it both ways. So let's go. You go. One Pakistan, one England player.
Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna go with Nawaz
Uh,
because Nawaz, despite India में जो भी उन्हें मारा खाया जूते, he still took 2 wickets in that MCG thing और MCG बड़ा ground होने के वजह से
और
conditions
लास्ट
तो
ओवर में
बनते
भी
ना
लिया
थे.
था उन्हें
लास्ट
विकेट्स.
ओवर में भी स्टंपिंग लिया था, फिर वो तो प्रेशर में आके दे दिए थे अपन. बट नवाज ऐसा बॉलर है कि भाई यू कैन नॉट टेक हिम आउट ऑफ द इक्वेशन. इन्होंने कुछ भी कर ले सकता, बैट से भी खेल लेता. एंड गिवन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ द गेम फाइनल के हिसाब से अगर अगर कोई बॉलर विकेट निकाल सकता है तो इन्हें है मिडिल ओवर्स में एकदम ही कैन गेट द ब्रेक थ्रू. तो आई एम गोना बैक विद नवाज. व्हाट अबाउट यू? तुम्हारा पाकिस्तानी प्लेयर कौन है?
Pakistan ka, I'm gonna go Shaheen Shah Afridi, man. Big bowler, big player, and
हाँ वो
I
तो
think for
है.
me, that is going to be the. अगर उन्हें डोपरस को निकाल दिया, game वहीं खत्म है मेरे लिए. I think that's going to be big. Of course, there's still a lot of batting England have, but just with
Yeah.
the recent past, the way England are playing, they're top heavy right now, and Shaheen Afridi has been outstanding in the power play. He's looking back in full fitness. I mean, he's very close to that. He's still not maybe 100%, but he's very close to that, and that pace is coming up now. So I think Shaheen Shah Afridi, a bit of movement. There's going to be rain around it. The pitch might do a few things, and he might cause some problems. If he can get Butler and Hales out, I think that's going to be the game. He gets me even one wicket of Butler. If he gets that
Mm-hmm.
wicket, it might be a game changer. You know what Wasim Akram did against Graham Gooch and Neil Federer in the
Yeah.
92 World Cup, right? If
Yeah.
Shaheen Shah even comes back and does that with the older ball, that is also possible from him. I think he's learned from that Matthew Wade incident. So I think Shaheen Shah might be a match winner. He might be the Wasim Akram of this
वही वो
one.
फर्स्ट 2 ओवर्स में दिख रहा है मेरे को कि भाई फर्स्ट ओवर में मालूम हो जाएगा इसका, फर्स्ट ओवर में मालूम हो जाएगा कि भाई इन्हें क्या करने वाला है. Like that is going to be a very nervy first over, and टॉस जीते बाद कौन बॉलिंग लेता है वो भी बहुत बड़ा डिसीजन है.
Yeah, I think
The toss is
for
going to
me
crucial.
it will be that, and मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, like new ball is the most important, but I just remembered 92 में क्या हुआ, so I think
हाँ.
older ball भी don't be surprised if Shaheen has some incredible spell and picking up Stokes and Livingston back to back.
Yeah,
That could be
yeah.
possible as well.
No
So I'm
doubt,
gonna
no
go
doubt.
Shaheen Shah Afridi, and then your England pick.
My England pick has been consistently the same guy. Since the last two, it's going to be Joss again.
Yeah,
Joss for the win because captain going in heavy confidence. भाई हर जगह फोड़ते रहा बटलर से वेटर प्रमोट हो गया वेटर से अब हेड शेफ हो गया हेड शेफ से उन्हें रेस्टोरेंट ओनर बन गया तो आई
yeah.
थिंक जॉस द बॉस इज नॉट रेडी फॉर अ लॉस एंड ही गोना hit the ground winning toss पूरा rhyming कर दे रहा था मैं but yeah my pick is Joss Butler.
Josh Butler, yeah, you picked him almost every game, and you were right in that India game. I'm gonna go completely different, and I'll go Moin Ali. I just feel I really like that player, man. I think it's biased more than anything. Of course, I picked Ben Stokes in the last game, and I feel again Ben Stokes will play a vital role. The only reason I'm going Moin Ali is I just feel that he might be required against Shadab and Nawaz with the bat, especially if
Yeah.
Stokes comes one down. If Malan's not playing, Moin Ali batting and might be pushed up the order, maybe at number 5, and to counter that, the spin, try to play with the spin, and he might be a key player. He did well against Pakistan in Pakistan as well. Some great cameos. I remember one game he hit 60 or 70 out of 30 balls. So
Yeah.
he knows how to play against this attack, and I just feel that the way Pakistan bowl Moin Ali might just be very handy in this game.
Yeah.
Again, it's just
Yeah.
a left field shout.
100%.
I don't know if I was like a
No, I
10%
mean,
chance.
I sort of I understand your point. Like he could be the sort of stabilizer that they require in the middle
हाँ,
in case
और
something
शायद
goes
ये
up.
ये भी हो सकता है उसको
Huh?
बैटिंग बॉलिंग दोनों नहीं मिली बट मे बी ही गेट्स
नहीं मिल सकती but he could always be that substitute या reserve player in the middle जो आके थोड़ा बचा लेगा टीम को मोमेंटम दिलाएगा हल्लू हल्लू build that innings build that जरूरत पड़ सकती है बॉस के फर्स्ट के तो दो खड़ गए कौन हेल्स कौन बटलर बोल दिया अगर शाहीन तो I mean इन्हें बीच में आके इन्हें टुक टुक खेलना पड़ता है he has to sort of be that anchor like Kohli or someone and someone has to play around him like a Livingstone or a Ben Stokes so you really require someone like a Moeen to be that pillar of strength in the middle.
Yeah, no, 100%. And also, maybe if he gets over it, I just feel that
Yeah.
with Adil Rashid there, the Pakistani management might, promote Nawaz also with the bat. And also, Shan Masood is there anyway. He's going to bat at number 4. So, with that in mind, maybe Moin Ali will get a few overs. And sometimes he doesn't bowl at all, especially if it's a right-handed heavy opposition. Magar agar, left-handed hai, wahan pe Shan Masood hai, Nawaz bhi batting kar raha. Agar dono kar rahe hai, for example, coincidentally at the crease, then I think Moin Ali will be used, and he's a smart bowler. I think उन्हें ले सकता wickets,
Yeah, बिल्कुल.
and with the square boundaries, he will be in play. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm going. Again, it's a very risky pick in terms of there's no guarantee that how many balls he's going to face, how many wickets or how many overs he's going to get. But
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with that. Yours is
Yeah.
much more stable pick, I think. So people who are picking your fantasy
Yeah.
teams, I think Butler is the way to go.
Yeah, and,
And
and in terms of Pakistan, yours is much more stable like that. If you think
yeah,
about
mine
mine
is.
and Nawaz, and yours is like
Yeah,
Shaheen.
it's similar. We went Moin Ali, Nawaz. We went similar like that. But yeah, I think that wraps up the fantasy picks. अब मेरे को ये बोलो कैप्टन कौन रखेंगे टीम में? Who would you captain for double points?
For double points, I would captain, let's say, Ben Stokes.
तुम्हारी टीम ही नहीं है उन्हें
कौन कौन सी टीम है
तुम पिक ही नहीं कर जो तुम पिक करे उन लोगों को
मैं अच्छा
बोलो
ये दोनों में बोल रहा हूँ मैं चाहता ओवरऑल में बोल रहा हूँ अच्छा सॉरी मैं आई थिंक फॉर डबल पॉइंट्स जॉस मैन जॉस विकेट कीपिंग में भी कैचा मिल जाते है उसको एंड बैट के साथ वो बैटिंग फोड़ दे सकता
No, Shaheen Afridi, but yeah, if I had to go captain, then Ben Stokes without a doubt, bro. I
अभी
think
मैं
you're right.
मतलब ओवरऑल कैप्टन है डबल पॉइंट्स
Yeah,
पे पूछ
overall
रहा हूँ
captain
मैं
Ben
मेरे दिमाग में
Stokes.
वो चलेगा
Ben
मैं
Stokes
अरे
because
यार
उसको न्यू बॉल भी मिल रहा, overs मिल रहे हैं, फिर with the
yeah,
bat I think he'll be promoted. He might play one down if Malan doesn't play. So Ben Stokes is
yeah.
always a very
Ben
good shout.
Stokes are always the big guy yeah बिल्कुल
Massive player. Let's go, Fez, into Captain's Corner and talk more a bit about the match and see what Barbara Azam and Josh Butler will be up to tomorrow. Everyone who's watching, just a reminder, everyone who's watching, sorry Fez, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Send in your comments, your questions. I think I just got a couple
yes
of comments. The main man is in the house here.
yep
But yeah, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to our channel. And after the World Cup, we'll still get you cricket content. There's always going to be cricket on display, and we're not going to stop. And Vinay is in the house saying Shadab double captain. Nahi, Shadab. कैप्टन सिंगल ही होता है विनय, डबल पॉइंट्स डबल रहते हैं, बट हाँ
भाई शादाब शायद ऑस्ट्रेलिया में वेट गेन करा इसलिए बोल रहे हैं डबल। खैर,
अच्छा,
तो नहीं नहीं मजाक कर रहा हूँ, बट मेरे हिसाब से मैं ये बोल रहा था कैप्टन कॉर्नर्स के इमेज में इमरान खान है देखो पीछे।
इमरान खान
इमरान भाई ऑलरेडी से आ गया यहाँ पे।
हाँ, तो मैं बोल रहा था, अच्छा द कैप्टन्स कॉर्नर में नाउ दोनों कैप्टन्स मैं बहुत क्रिटिसाइज करा पास्ट में, बिकॉज दे मेड ब्लंडर्स, दे मेड मिस्टेक्स इन एवरीथिंग। दोनों आगे फाइनल में, यू हैव टू आई हैव टू टेक माय हैट ऑफ टू देम एंड अप्रिशिएट द वे they've led their side. I think it's from Babar's point of view and Butler's point of view, the way they've instilled belief in the team despite losing to Ireland where England did and Zimbabwe. They made sure, like, they came up in the big games like Pakistan against South Africa. That was a huge game. He got the boys together. Babar Azam, his tactics were much better, and of course, I think the individual players also stepped up for him. And same thing with Butler. I think Butler made sure he gathered his troops. That tour where he went to Pakistan, he didn't play in that series, but he was there the whole time. Moin Ali was captaining; he was there the whole time. So it was important for him. Yes, he didn't play, but it was important for him to gauge how his players are playing, how they're performing, and I think that's helped him in this tournament. And of course, you do have individual brilliance in both teams, but the captains have really led the way in terms of
Yeah,
captain.
surely. I mean, I think it was important if from both captains, if I take them separately or together,
ये
that it
वापस
was
आ जाओ।
important for for them to sort of come out of their shell. I think बाबर भी ऐसा बंदा नहीं है कि भाई वो पॉलिटिक्स में कोई घुसेगा, भाई मैं मेरा बैटिंग कर लेता हूँ चले आता हूँ, मेरे से ना। But now once you become a captain, you sort of have to change your temperament. It takes a lot of time. Initially थोड़े hiccups रहते हैं, आपको बैक टू बैक क्रिटिसिज्म मिलती रहती है कि नहीं भाई इससे नहीं होगा, इससे नहीं होगा. And I'm pretty sure the same thing was with Josh Butler, that his temperament was too reserved, he was too within himself. For as a captain, you need to be a character, you need to be understanding. At the same time, you need to be firm, you need to be able to shout when it's required, and sort of understand your player's problem. And at the same time, you need a friend, and you need to be like a fatherly figure in some kind of a sense. So I think it was important for both of them to realize that just before the World Cup, get their socks to pull up their socks, get their troops together, like you said. And they've both done it fantastically, and I think they both, obviously for Pakistan, I'd say, luck sort of favored them in a lot of ways. But yeah, continue to back your boys and sort of giving that mentality talks and sort of those pep talks that were required in the backstage. That was something that Babar did. For Josh, it was important to sort of come and lead as a example. And from the third game of the World Cup, after having back to back bad starts, he managed to sort of improve his cricket. At the same time, I think that had a direct effect on the middle order and the other players in terms of the bowling department to continue their good form. So I think that was important from Josh's angle. So I think both of them are going into this game will be mentally very confident in their team. They won't have any hiccups. Probably a little for Josh Butler because of the middle order का tension होगा शायद थोड़ा batting wise, bowling wise और ऊपर का तो मसला नहीं है. Fielding wise, England have been good. For Pakistan right now, all their departments have been phenomenal. In the semi-final also, we saw fielding में तो भाग रहे थे सीधा, like nice रोकने वाली boundary कभी है बोल के थक्के छोड़ देने वाली भी, they were going after it. So it's gonna be an interesting battle to see. And yeah, I think both the captains have really improved and improvised and sort of got their game plan together.
Yeah, 100%, outstanding. And, a lot of them, a lot of everyone had written them off, especially Babar Azam, experts from all around the world, even including in Pakistan. They said he needs to leave captaincy. I've said it also. But the way he's proved everyone wrong, got it in his team to the final, I think outstanding. Same thing with Butler. Butler lost a couple of series in the beginning, and everyone said that, he's no Owen Morgan, he can't do this and everything. And he's got in his team to the final. I think both teams have the management have played a really good role in terms of selecting certain players and backing them without doubt, because there's a lot of talk in Pakistan ki bhai Shoaib Malik ko khilao, get someone in the middle order with stability. Wasim Akram said it himself just a week ago when they lost to Zimbabwe. He said that Shoaib Malik mere samne baitha hua hai, and he said main usko khilata tha, usko kyun nahi leke gaya World Cup. Now everyone's not talking about
ये भी इतनी तमीज से भी नहीं बोला था, बोला कभी कभी बंदे का भी बाप बनाना पड़ता है.
Yeah, और शोएब अख्तर भी बोला, उन्हें भी उसके YouTube चैनल पे बोला, आप सब पलट गए, and that's because of Babar Azam, and Pakistan have done that, and it's the whole team. The whole team have believed in the management. They believed in the captain, and of course, you need a bit of luck to go your way. When any World Cup you win, if I look at it from my team's perspective in India, without a bit of luck, that Joginder Sharma over India never wins a T20 World Cup ever. So you need luck there. I'm not
Yeah, yeah,
taking anything away from Babar and his boys, and same thing with Butler. I think has been outstanding. Usko criticize kare kafi, but he's continued the template, man, that Morgan set, and of course, again, I think that Pakistan have played better cricket than England in the World Cup in
yeah,
terms of everybody's contributed. I think they're much more prepared like that because
yeah,
the have been
exactly.
put in
Yeah,
different circumstances and performed. But England have what they've done in the past, and sometimes they just need one player to smash it, so it can be very good. मेरा एक game plan है if I'm Babar Azam. मैं अभी
mm,
सोच रहा था एक स्लिप लगा दो आई थिंक दो स्लिप
yeah,
लगा दो okay go two slips they like to play the cover shot Hales and Butler एक deep square leg
mm,
लो and you would say like mid wicket and fine leg but I would take deep square leg and I would take cover point के बीच में I
mm,
would say covers deep cover वहां पे लो
mm,
and just try to swing the just try to एक बाहर एक अंदर एक बाहर एक
mm,
अंदर keep swing it both ways make him fish outside the off stump get the ball in as well you have deep square leg and bowl that bouncer as well and
mhm.
attack just attack those the first over of Shaheen and then see how it goes from there अगर नहीं हुआ तो फिर then think and then death overs I just want Babar Azam to be a bit more prepared for the death overs I think you mentioned a lot Naseem Shah I think he's outstanding उसका over रखो 20th ओवर का उसका रखो और 19th आई थिंक शाहीन शाह हारिस एंड नसीम तुम लोग से खत्म करो because that'll be
Yeah.
important whether you go first or bowl last he will need to get those death overs sorted
थिंग विद बाबर में जो नोटिस करा कि भाई इफ समवन इज बॉलिंग गुड उन्हें कंटिन्यू करा देता लाइक उन्हें क्या शाहीन को खत्म कर देता जल्दी ही डजंट लाइक sort of give that gap. I mean, spinners के बाद immediately उन्हें रफा दफा कर देंगे यार जल्दी जल्दी just let's reach the end of this innings हो जाता है उसको तो आई थिंक वो सिचुएशन को सोक अप करना बहुत जरूरी है उसको he needs to sort of realize that नहीं भाई I need to pan out the other 4 or 5 overs after the spinners एंड जो इंडिया में भी अपन देखे हैं इंडिया के अगेंस्ट भी जो हरकत करा है दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आई वाज लाइक यू कैन नॉट बोल अ स्लो बॉलर अगेंस्ट विराट कोहली मैन यू कांट एंड सेम थिंग जॉस बटलर प्ले स्पिन वेल इनला अच्छा खेलते स्पिन को भी तो आई वुड से कि भाई लेट हिम बी इन द मोमेंट दे मेक अ डिसीजन नॉट हैव प्लान
a
immediately
pre-plan
you have yeah don't pre-plan let it be spontaneous let like Josh Butler and you not expect these kind of things so you have three amazing fast bowlers. Pick the best one who is bowling right there. I think for now it could be Naseem for me, but I think it would be Haris Jr. for others because Haris Jr. का Yorker और वो अच्छा
हारिस
है and
जूनियर हारिस रऊफ वसीम जूनियर दो अलग अलग है
sorry Wasim Jr. Haris Jr. Sorry Wasim Jr. तो वसीम जूनियर का मैं ये बोलूंगा कि है अच्छा बट फॉर मी नसीम हैज बीन आउटस्टैंडिंग थ्रू दिस थिंग he's been the dark knight he has been the silent killer but yeah it's Babar's call in that aspect but I would not want Babar to bowl a Nawaz again and do that thing yeah so that's what I think Will would play bowler thought wait no I don't
तो
think he will
Yeah, first thing, no, I'm saying there's a chance because when Nets with Dala Aj, he bowled a few balls at full throttle. I think there's a chance 60% he'll play, 40% he won't play. Again, they also mentioned that अगर 50-50 तो उसको नहीं खिलाएंगे मगर मेरे को ऐसा दिख रहा कि it's a big game and 4 over का spell रहेगा. If he is bowling in the nets, I think he can bowl in the finals. Now it'll be hindsight. Tomorrow we'll discuss whether it was the right or wrong decision if he does play. But I
the
think खिला देंगे उसको.
बट वही मेरे को रिस्क एलिमेंट यही दिख रहा है कि भाई अगर कुछ एक आध बॉल में पुल वुल हो गया वट एवर इंजरी ही इज लिंगरिंग विद इफ दैट हैपेंस देन it's going to be a very bad thing for England. They'll just be playing
That's
with
true.
10,
It,
10.
it, it will
So I
it will
think
feel.
that'll be a very big backfire and that will be coming
आप
as
ये
a
कर सकते हैं एक चीज कर सकते हैं बहुत आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स रहेगा मगर आप एक चीज कर सकते हैं इफ यू आर वरीड अबाउट दैट वुड को भी खिलाओ हैरी ब्रुक को ड्रॉप करके विली को खिलाओ इट्स गोना बी हार्श या जॉर्डन आई थिंक विली को खिलाओ इट विल बी हार्श ऑन हैरी ब्रुक इवन दो ही इज नॉट रियली परफॉर्म्ड विद दिस वर्ल्ड कप बट ही इज अ वेरी टैलेंटेड लैड and to drop him just before a final after he's played every game would be harsh but अगर आपको वैसा रिस्क लेना है आप ले सकते हैं इंग्लैंड हैव दैट स्कोप यू नो व्हाट आई मीन तो
yeah
अगर आपको लेना है आपको एक ओवर भी मिल गया वुड का राइट अगर इंजर भी होगा एक ओवर के वो एक ओवर में उन्हें आपका मोहम्मद हारिस को निकाल दिया या बाबर या रिजवान को निकाल दिया देन आपका
yeah but उसमें क्या है it comes down to very big like probability बहुत ज्यादा मतलब थोड़ा कम of like getting a wicket and stuff like that होगा because no doubt मार्कविट का अगर एक आध हिल गया अंदर बोल्ड कर दिया LBW something but I would still not take that much of a risk because भाई एक ओवर अगर नहीं हुआ कुछ फिर क्या फिर आई मीन विली भी इतना नहीं खेला अभी ये टूर्नामेंट, उसको मार मार के चंबू कर दिया तो कुछ भी नहीं बोल सकते। फिर वही होगा कि भाई व्हाई डिड यू टेक द रिस्क, why did you pull my foot, why did it, all that thing on Butler will come falling back.
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry about that. Some connection issues. I think I'll get Faiz back. But yeah, we were talking about Mark Wood.
Sorry bro, I think थोड़ा वाईफाई वो
मेरा
लाइक
भी मेरा भी क्या, दोनों का साथ में गया और साथ में आ गया वापस. बट या whoever जो जुड़ेगा हमारे साथ, really sorry about that, and please do stay with us. मगर हाँ, I think Faiz was basically saying कि like if he's not 100% fit, don't take that risk. And with that,
because yeah बिल्कुल probability of वो जो तुम बोल रहे 1 over and stuff like that, it is there, but like it's just too much of a risk to take for me.
मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ because I think Marco का he's been outstanding, especially against Pakistan. So he's had a good record. So just take that. I would take that risk, but again I understand कि like what you're saying is completely right. It's just that अगर मैं वो position में था, I would try to push it till the end and see if I can play Marco. Again, it could go either way. Bumrah got injured, Shine is continuing to play, so it's a
Yeah,
50-50.
yeah,
It's a
yeah, of course.
50-50 call. And then from Butler's point of view, I think bowling changes will be crucial, especially if Mark Wood is not there. Ab Jordan को भरोसा रख रहे. Sam Curran थोड़ा
Yeah,
पिटा था उन्हें death overs में. How are you going to do? Are you going to still untrust Sam Curran? I think you should, because Adelaide short square boundaries. Hardik Pandya made most of that, but
yes,
over here in Melbourne, it won't be as easy. So I think you stick with Sam Curran. And if Mark Wood is not there, you still have Chris Jordan who can nail those Yorkers. You have Chris Wokes, you can try and over maybe in the death, but I think it'll be Jordan and Sam Curran who will bowl you, and maybe Ben Stokes, man, to try to avenge that 2016 debacle which happened with him. He might just get that last over.
yeah.
It's a very close game. He's the type of player he'll say, "Just give me the ball." Like even with the bat, he'll say,
Yeah,
"Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna attack." Like he's that type of guy. So कुछ भी हो
yeah.
सकता from
All
that end.
out, all out. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
but
can.
again, Babar is 1K against. Bowl that consistent line and length. Don't give them too much width. Don't be stray on your pads too much. Bowl more disciplined. Rizwan likes to get off the mark, playing through the offside. So thoda sa trap karo. Maybe put a short cover there, put an extra fielder in the offside, and entice that drive. Also, maybe keep a slip. And for
Yeah,
Babar, I think short ball. If Wood is fit, that's what they need to do. Like square leg or fine leg, dono ko piche rakho aur pepper him in the first few deliveries, make him feel uncomfortable. And I think that's the way to go against Babar Azam for England, from Josh Butler's point of view. And with the bat,
yeah,
England can be very flexible. They can send up Ben Stokes one down, they can send Livingston one down, they can send Moeen Ali one down. So they have a lot of options. And
yeah.
again, if I'm Butler, I might change a few things.
extremely sorry people. We've been शायद मेलबर्न के क्लाउड्स यहाँ पे आ गए और हमारे वाईफाई को थोड़ा डिस्ट्रैक्शन दे रहे हैं, but basically like Mustafa was saying that it would be very crucial for Josh Butler to basically make his changes in terms of bowling and stuff. मैं वही बोल रहा था इन लोग को शायद गलती से मेलबर्न के क्लाउड्स यहाँ पे आ गए क्योंकि हमारा वाईफाई इंटरप्ट हो जा रहा है.
Yeah, man.
But
Sorry
it's
about that.
extremely sorry for everybody who's been watching with us and
क्या आवाज है?
staying. तो जैसे आप बोल रहे थे बेसिकली क्रूशल रहेगा हाउ इट सॉर्ट ऑफ ऑर्डर मिडिल ऑर्डर ये वो चेंज करना एंड ऑल द बॉलिंग चेंजेस दैट ही हैज टू डू डेफिनेटली क्रूशल तो रहेगा वो लेकिन आई थिंक फॉर हिमसेल्फ टू परफॉर्म आल्सो इज गोना बी एन अल्टीमेट टास्क फॉर हिम नॉट ओनली द कैप्टन बट आल्सो द प्लेयर तो आई थिंक जॉर्ज बटलर के लिए खुद का परफॉर्मेंस बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है आज
मैं
तो
भी
करने
वही
वाले देखेंगे
तो सबसे फनी चीज मेरे को अभी लगी है कि भाई हम इतना टैक्टिक्स बात करें वी वेंट थ्रू एवरीथिंग मगर अगर बारिश पड़ गई तो सब पिटने में मिल जाता कुछ भी गेम भी नहीं रहता सो आई जस्ट होप दैट द रेन स्टेज अवे एंड वी गेट अ गेम आई love this game. I love cricket, man. No matter what, whoever you support, it's a World Cup final. You have to be pumped for it. You're going to enjoy. It's going to be quality cricket. We're neutrals. We're going to enjoy the game, of course. And let's see what happens,
Yeah,
man.
definitely. I think every English fan and every Pakistani fans not sleeping, that the case what would have been with us. I
We're
wish,
going to
but
sleep nicely and wake up,
yeah,
inshallah, probably.
I think even despite that, I think being a World Cup final, you always have that anxiety and sort of stress that
Yeah,
अरे
you
क्या
always
होता
look forward
है.
to it.
And
Yeah,
because both these sides जैसा अपन देख रहे जितना अपन analyze करे जितना अपन ना देख रहे head to head is so like interesting to even see कि क्या होने वाला है कौन करने वाला है तो too much रहने वाला है मैच हमें देखने के लिए. I hope 20 overs हो वाला मैं please हम ना दुआ करें चैनल पे कि rain stays away. It's just want to watch some good cricket on a good Sunday. Monday पे final देखने में लोग काम पे जाएंगे, especially हमारे बॉस डॉन बेचारे काम छोड़ के क्रिकेट देख रहे हैं बेचारे, लेकिन मंडे अगर है तो शायद क्रिकेट छोड़ के काम को जाना पड़ेगा उनको. So yeah, we really hope that we're able to see some
कल
good
मैच हो
quality
जाओ.
cricket on a good Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Don's motivation, is always watching the cricket, and he's also excited. I'm really happy that he's going to be watching the game, and we will be discussing the game. And also,
Yeah.
Faiz, you made a very important point that I completely forgot was this of connections, mein, connection issues. Mein. You talked about Babar Azam should slow down the game a bit. You said it indirectly. You basically said he finishes off everything quickly and everything, and
Yeah.
it's very. Ironic you said that because I was reading an article today where Owen Morgan said that in the 2016 final he rushed things and he did not slow down the game. He just kept giving the ball here and there. When Ben Stokes was there, he got the ball. He just shined the ball and gave it back to him. He was not slowing the game down. I think that's something both captains need to understand. And I'm sure that Stokes is there present. He will tell Butler and he himself will slow down the game when it's a pressure situation. Even if you're panicking, even if I know now there's the rule where fielder bahar jata if you're behind
Yeah. Over
behind the
it.
run. But
Yeah.
थोड़ा सा slow down करना पड़ता opposition को थोड़ा सा make them think a bit, play around with the field and just
बिल्कुल.
use your experience there. I think that's
Yeah, because इसमें situation में क्या है, अगर आप it's already a panic situation or if you're getting scored on वो तो momentum carry हो जाता वो like basically अपन जैसे 90 minutes में अगर फुटबॉल में देख रहे हैं अपन कभी कभी हड़ाहुड़ी में we sort of see that goal पड़ जाता है. So
yeah.
I think वो बहुत ज्यादा I think वो टाइम पे अपना temperament काम करके खेलना है. Over it तो चलते रहेगा बस you'll be able to make it up, but I think ये last 4-5 overs जो crucial है जो आपको match winning overs है ये potential game changing overs है तो I think इधर अपना head lose नहीं कर सकते आप.
Yeah, 75% chance of rain रोना आ रहा सोच के honestly 95 था like 2 दिन पहले तो कम हो गया percentage. अभी Don make some calls to Melbourne, man. It's sunny right now, so just check what's happening. But
कुछ
right
नहीं
now,
राजू टेंट वाले को बुला के पूरा डोम बना देंगे टेंटों से पानी
दो
सोख
है
कर
वहां पे
देना है.
मेलबर्न में 15-20 मिनट दूर बट नहीं जा सकते वहां पे फैंटेसी पे स्टोक्स बिग मैच प्लेयर हाउ द टेबल्स हैव टर्न्ड ब्रो Don is picking Ben Stokes as his fantasy pick, man. I cannot believe my eyes, bro. Ben Stokes is a big match player. I didn't know that, bro. But yeah, I think
ये थोड़ा
the
ये थोड़ा पॉडकास्ट की आपकी लड़ाई दिख रही है शायद.
fabulous pick. अब देखो क्या होता है. Ben Stokes हराया भी वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल एक तो hopefully he learns from that and doesn't do the same thing. Hardik also big. Okay, Hardik also big match player. Very
That
big
is for
match.
another time, another podcast, another match.
Yeah, Hardik is on the way back, bro. But yeah, I think if you look at it, hopefully, if the rain does stay away, it's going to be a cracker of game. MCG 92 repeat, two big teams, really good, T20
atmosphere in the
cricketers, and
ground.
all these guys have played around the world. They played in different leagues. They played in BBL, they played in CPL, they played in T20 Blast. You remember also that you have Pakistani players who go and play the this kya bolte so NatWest T20 Blast and the
Natural.
100, and then you have England players going playing the PSL. Remember that as well. Harry Brook is a PSL product. We've seen Livingston play also in the Peshawar Zalmi. You've had big players play in the PSL from England as well. So these cricketers are they're globetrotters. They've especially these two teams, they understand different conditions and they played in big crowds. So it'll be good. Airport में सो जा रहे boys बेचारे थक गए.
नहीं नहीं, वो दिन मैच मैच में थके हुए थे तो मैच में सो रहे थे। बहुत सही भाई।
Match में so-
एयरपोर्ट में तो जग रहे होंगे, एयरपोर्ट पे केएफसी खा रहे होंगे, एयरपोर्ट पे गरम सैंडविच खा रहे होंगे। थके तो मैच के दिन थे तो मैच में सो रहे थे वो।
मगर अब देखो, that's part and parcel of the game as well. I think खुली की बात है, like I agree with
पार्सल को बोलो, पार्सल तो सैंडविच जाएगा भाई।
thoughts on Babar Azam going to Zalmi. Man, I was surprised. I didn't know that I was brewing at the back over there. And वो भी like World Cup final से पहले announce कर दिया. I was kind of shocked. Uh, good call, man. That means Shoaib Malik and Haider Ali go to Karachi Kings, but I think Peshawar Zalmi have. It's huge signing for them. Not only he's going to give you captaincy, he's going to give you runs at the top, but he's a big market figure in Pakistan. And if he wins the World Cup now,
Crowd
this will,
puller.
Javed Afridi's just hit a gold mine, man. Especially if Babar Azam wins, he's going to market this Peshawar Zalmi team like nothing. It's going to be huge, the PSL this year. If Pakistan win the T20 World Cup, for sure it's going to be huge. So yeah, I think big signing from Peshawar Zalmi, man. It'll be exciting times for that franchise. So yeah, one more comment. Don't put this on. Okay. Okay, Don. Sorry, man. I just clicked it. I'm not sure, man. There are rumors, but I'm not sure. Fez, to wrap it up, let me know what you think. Who's gonna win?
I mean, मेरे हिसाब से तो I've been saying it. I feel like Pakistan is going to win because they've got the slight upper hand in terms of confidence and in the middle order picking up in the last few games when you compare it to England. Yes, England's openers are, all guns blazing since the semi-final, but you have the likes of Wasim Junior, and Shaheen Shah Afridi in that team. So I think that is going to be a very major difference between both the teams, and it's going to be a very good final to watch. All the Pakistani people, all the best. Who from India, I am supporting Pakistan. I'm not lying about this. I'm definitely
क्या
losing.
बात है? Who would have thought?
Yeah, the tables have turned when Don said Ben Stokes is a big match player. So I think all the cafes, all the people out here is going to be a lot of fun to watch with them, and sort of get that subcontinental passion feel in the crowd. क्या बोलते हैं मुस्तफा?
मगर अंदर से चुपता, कुछ भी बोलो अंदर से तो
चुपता भाई, अब क्या ही कर सकते हैं भाई। अब देखो ये बिल्कुल कैसा है वो
but
वो
like always best of luck to Pakistan. I have a lot of Pakistani friends, so always best of luck to them. But if they lose, I'm not going to spare them. So it'll be either way. I'm happy, man. It's okay. So
जब तो दुगना लगान का तिगना लगान चुगना लगान जितने
छोड़ेंगे
लगान
नहीं
लगाने
अब
में।
अब छोड़ेंगे नहीं। अगर जीत गए तो खुश रहेंगे हम। आप देखें सेलिब्रेट करते हैं हम जब पाकिस्तान जीतती है, मगर हारे तो भी हम एंजॉय करेंगे।
जीते तो
अरे डन बॉस, सॉरी क्यों बोल रहे बॉस? आप कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं, ऐसा क्या है? इंग्लैंड विनिंग कुदरत का निजाम है भाई। अब्बा पूरा उठा दे।
मुस्तफा भाई सिंह जीते तो फूल, नहीं तो मत्थी धूल बोल के।
हम इधर में फ्लिप कर सकते हैं, कहीं भी चला सकते हैं। We can always banter anytime, so I'm always ready for that. But I'm honestly I'm a big connoisseur of cricket, watch a lot of cricket, and I think it's going to be a great contest. It should be a lot of fun. I hope it's not one-sided. Whatever happens, it should go till the end. As a neutral, you want to see something. I haven't seen a super over in a long time, man, so I don't mind, bro. And like India, I wanted to see the Pakistan game also. I'll be very honest with you. उन्हें जो अश्विन खेला शॉट, मैं बोला अरे सुपर ओवर गया तो ठीक है, बट आई वाज एक्सट्रीमली हैप्पी एट दैट टाइम, बट सुपर ओवर जमाना हो गया देख के, लाइक
As much as like it could go to the wire, I would really wanted to go to a wire because एक अलग ही एक्साइटमेंट रहती कि भाई खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा मैच, खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा मैच, चलो खत्म करो, नहीं नहीं ये नहीं खत्म हो रहा, चलो अब सुपर ओवर ओवर ड्रामा, इट्स लाइक WWE इग्नाइट रॉयल रंबल एंट्री नंबर 30 कुछ तो भी हो रहा. सो आई थिंक वो जबरदस्त एंटाइसिंग रहता वो.
Yeah, and that's why everyone wanted an India-Pakistan final, because of how the first game panned out. That was the best game of the tournament, right? Easy, I think.
Yeah.
There's no question that was the best game of the tournament, and that's why they wanted a final like that. But I think this final can be the best game of the tournament if it goes to super over. Then ये हो जाता. So let's see what happens. Arsenal जीते, City हारे. आज का दिन अच्छा हो गया. कल भी same हो गया. तो मजा आ जाता. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal top of the league, man. It's crazy, bro. Arsenal top of the league, Pakistan in the finals, Netherlands beating South Africa. कुछ भी हो रहा है आजकल, but I'm really excited.
ये तो बिल्कुल खुदड़ का निजाम नहीं दिख रहा, लेकिन ये बिल्कुल निजाम के निजाम सरकार की भी नहीं दिख रही कुछ, लेकिन क्या है कि आजकल जो टीम्स आप एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे जीत रहे, जो टीम्स एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे जीतने वाले नहीं जीत रहे, हारने वाले हारे नहीं, तो क्या है कि
Yeah, उधर का निज़ाम तो है भैया, मैं भी वो एग्री करता हूँ। मैं लाइक 2 हफ्ते से मैं मान लिया, अब लाइक जो भी है मैं मान लिया सकी भाई को। But yeah, Faz, I think wraps it up. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Of course, we'll get the latest from tomorrow. There will be a post-match episode that we will bring to you. But also catch, we did a quick couple minute fantasy, not fantasy pick, but we just did a couple minute preview of the game. So catch that on Twitter and Instagram as well. And if you like that,
yeah.
we'll do more shorter reels and shorter videos in the future.
Hopefully, yeah, we'll go interacting with the crowd and sort of get the reactions. Hopefully,
Yeah.
dancing, dancing fans or non-dancing fans, देखना पड़ेगा कौन से fans मिलते. But
Boss
yeah, it's
improve कर
gonna
रहे, तो
be.
thank you so much for the motivation and the
बॉस
compliments.
बजट अप्रूव करे भाई, बॉस बजट अप्रूव करे.
But yeah, I think again, Faz, thank you. It was a pleasure. It's gonna hopefully it'll be a great game. Hopefully the rain stays away. Let's see what happens tomorrow. May the
Yeah,
best
man.
team win. And yeah, can't wait, bro. It should be a
Yes.
cracker, and I will catch you tomorrow.
See you.
See you. Have a good night.